Good evening to y'all. You're looking at a very refreshed Robert Kane. To all of you who don't know me yet, my pen name is also Peter Strait. I am an upcoming novelist, and right now I live in a motel room, and I'm writing a fiction thriller based upon a serial killer. The title of the, of course, novel is I-95. Well, I'm going to just start off by saying, Ed Cheney, you made a couple of comments a couple of nights ago that kind of, I've been up for about 3 days and stuff, and I was a little rattled, you know what I mean, stuff like that. It's the life of a writer, don't take it personally. But I did take offense a little bit, and it's because something, Ed. Please, Ed, I gotta explain this to you. I actually went to a spot called skc.com, Serial Killer Chronicles. Okay, and Dr. Emmanuel Tane, who conducted Ted's very first interview when he was for the first time. The first time he was arrested, believe it or not, they actually let him go. I don't know if you guys know that. The second time he got arrested, they actually let a little sucker go. The third time he got arrested, they actually let a little sucker go. It wasn't until what happened, and this is the whole thing. It wasn't until up to the probe, okay, of the Omega sorority murders, okay, because they were able to find, distinct evidence linking him to those crimes. Boom, there you go, right? Okay, so we all know how that happened. And then, of course, we know that while he was preparing, of course, for his own defense, right? No, I didn't do this shit, and blah, 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 so on and so forth. We all know about the infamous third story leap. Donnie, you've got a couple of videos where he's talking about that. And, it's kind of funny, too. I gotta ask the state of Washington, I gotta ask, you see a freaking guy jump out of a fucking third story fucking building with shackles and handcuffs on. Or handcuffs, anyway. You gotta ask yourself, isn't anything not gonna fucking notice some guy in a beige jumper suit, or a gray jumper suit, hopping out of a fucking third story window with handcuffs on in the middle of fucking broad daylight? Like, hello, people. I guess that's why they went to orange and pink now in some states. But anyways, getting to the point. Ed Cheney, you made a really valid statement. But again, I really don't believe that Ted was a clear-cut psychopath. I really don't think that's the case. The reason for this is because, I can show you a video right now, and you've probably seen it, the Dr. Dobson video, where he clearly states, okay, he fucking clearly states, hey, you know what? Hey, I'm a little bit of a... He doesn't say the words as I'm expressing them, but in the end, he pretty much sums it up that, you know what? He knows. He knows that society should be definitely rid of people like him. And, yes, and I'm going to say this, I don't think he did really show, and actually, as we talk about it, people, in the whole Lou Dobson interview, and I'm going to tell you, I have the whole fucking 3 hour, it's almost a 3 hour interview, the whole segment, including half an hour with Dr. Dobson himself, before and after the execution, by the way, of Ted Bundy. It's very abruptly clear to me that he never did take accountability, really. He never did say, actually, well, I killed this person, I killed this person, I feel so bad about it, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't mean, Cheney, that he's a fucking psychopath, okay? And the reason, that he seems to kind of go around things and not answer them Have you ever thought of it? Have you ever thought of this? That maybe, just maybe, it was for the simple fact that this man, just really in all reality speaking, didn't really, you know, I mean, imagine this, Ed, if you will. You've got what, less than 10 hours to live. You know, by the time the interview was done, it was, I think, about 3 o'clock in the morning. They actually started prepping him for execution. I believe it was about 5:15, and they had him dragging by the fucking tips of his toes all the way down that hallway. You know, at about 7:05, and the switch was pulled at 7:15, and by 7:45, it was all taken care of. You know, the bottom line is that, let's face it, Ed, would it matter to you really if you found yourself in his position? Would you really even give a fuck about sharing any of those details? You know, would you care, or would you want to just, you know, take every opportunity you humanly possibly can to tell people exactly what it is thinks made you do what you did, and explain to people, you know. Actually, believe it or not, I have made some mixed up statements to the extent that it wasn't porno, it wasn't this, it wasn't his drinking. But, you know, to tell you the truth, guys, it's you know, I believe it was a combination of things in his life, okay? You know, brainstorm again. You said, oh, is you really that fucking charming? You know, come on, guys. You know, wake up. The guy was, fuck, you know, if I was an Eskimo and a guy came up to me with a fucking fridge, you believe I'd be buying a fuck, come on, bring a truckload. You know? The guy was a great man, who just over a period of time turned into a complete fucking monster, you know, and just due to some very, very unfortunate events in his life. Don't make excuses for the guy, man, okay? The guy is a creep, right? We all know this. Donnie, you know this too, right? I mean, come on. Right? What the guy did was fucking sick. But the bottom line is like I was saying in, I think, one of my videos when I was really tired. You know, strip away all of that. Strip it away, guys. You know? Strip it away. You know? Take every simple thought process that we have. You know? Break it down into some simple events in life. You know? And see where it would fucking end you. You know what I'm saying? Like, accountability is everything, sure. But at the same time, you know, have you ever heard that maybe sometimes, you know, it's proven fact. Like, psychoanalysis is proven, whatever, as far as I'm concerned, it's a fucking theory. But being a product of your environment, Ed, you should know this better than anybody. You say you studied psychoanalysis and all this shit. Being a product of your fucking environment is like, counts for 77% of your behavioral trait, my friend. 77%. Okay? And actually, if you go on to skc.com, serialkillerchronicles.com, Dr. Emmanuel Tani says that she says, you know, had these certain things not happened in his life, there was a fucking huge remote possibility. Whether or not he ever watched porn was fucking had nothing to do with it. Had certain events not taken place in his life, he probably would still be fucking alive, guys, and we might be looking at the next fucking American, you know, the fucking president of the United States. Who knows? You know, the bottom line is we're never going to get to fucking know, because the guy got a copper skull cap on his fucking head, some cotton shoved up his ass, and woo! You know? So, sorry about that. But anyway, guys, I don't mean to make fun of the guy either. I think what happened was absolutely terrible. It was an injustice all the way around, you know. And one thing we have to ask ourselves, are those guys on the outside of that fucking wall, you know, cheering for a fucking human being to be murdered? I mean, yeah, we could take pleasure in it, sure. I mean, a lady on here said that, you know, we should rejoice in the death of some, you know. But anyways, case scenario. I gotta get to work, guys.